have, 2 black sources in the deck, so you can hardcast Archon, which is more relevant in this deck with 4 Explore, 4 Farseek. But there's a few things at play here. One, I was watching Jarvis U a few months ago, like maybe a month ago, I guess. Play Seismic Assault in Creativity, and I think this card is awesome in the deck. Again, it gives you a great plan B, gives you something really good to slam on turn 3 that puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. It also gives you a good plan through Blood Moon too, just like you have 8 triple red enchantments to slam, so like Blood Moon is like a much smaller concern for you. I love the Assault plan. I think it's really really nice in this list. Um, Also, one thing I think that's really important for creativity at the moment is the ability to put an Archon of Cruelty into play turn 3. With like the Zoo deck being so popular, and they always want to be playing a creature on turn 2 basically. So if you can just like ramp on turn 2 if you're on the play, and then they play their creature turn 2 and you slam your creativity, that's like just an easy way to cheese the game. Also, like against Titan, against Yogg, it's just like the turn 3 Archon like really wants to be able to be put into play turn 3, and just playing 4 Farseek, 4 Explore is a really good way to do that. Farseek is a card that like looks kind of weird, I'm sure, but like we've actually been playing a lot of it on the channel, and this card has been errated. This now has the same text and also says Surveil 1 on it, which really helps smooth out draws. Um, Farseek is just just a good modern card because of the Surveil lands. And at least that's been my experience so far. Let me just get the title up to date. Seismic Assault Creativity. Been working on this one for a few days. Always like Jarvis's lists. Well, he was playing the Black Splash for Thoughtseize, and I feel like less painful mana is a really good way to go. I'm also really into, with all this extra mana acceleration, playing through the Breach, kind of over the Persist slot. So you would just have more like top end ways to Archon your opponent. Mike with the 6 months, the 0 lander. Keep, put back, explore number 3. Have the 12 Temple Dells. We 3-2 to League. I just have a few decks prepped, and I just kind of get to them this week before next week. Should have put back the Seismic Assault. Let's graveyard this. Got a lot of ways to return these. Commune is cool. Yeah, I think I explore over Wrenn and Six. Good to pick up a Dwarven Mine.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Yeah, next turn I can go Wrenn plus explore maybe. Think Snake Attack is appropriate power level for modern? Yeah. Especially seeing just how like mediocre minus it is in Timeless. I don't really have much reason to think it would be like a good thing. Oh, that's very no activate. Experimental line. We need to find a fetch land. Can't draw that, although despite us being kind of high on mana count here. There's no Emrakul in Timeless. There's no Solitude. Yeah. Like the answers in like Timeless are like much weaker than in Modern. And despite the fact that the answers are much weaker, like Sneak Attack is just like not really a playable card, or like the Sneak Attack lists I've seen sure do not do well. No more black. I might play another league. If we have time, we'll play another league of it after this. But I tend to not like to play the same deck 2 days in a row. Don't think I should play a land here since I'm going to be dredging the Loam probably. No fast mana makes Sneak Attack super fair. Yeah, and there's no fast mana. Like there's more fast mana in Timeless than there is in Modern, or at least there's Dark Ritual versus Pyretic Ritual. I don't think I need to be really worried about them like seismic or binding my seismic assaults. Oh, sorry. I needed to shoot them in response so I could loam these two back. That was actually a big mistake. So we just missed realized it a second too late. That's okay. Ito with the 1,000,000 channel points, VRP or mod. Listeners mentioned 3 is Fire Blast and Urza's Bauble. Urza's Bauble is like an unhinged thing to ask for, but I respect it. I think Fire Blast would be pretty fine. Mod for Ito, okay. Fire Blast is so toxic. It would be so fine, I think. Y'all know you gotta sack 2 lands, right? You're just gonna get Blossoming Calmed. Pretty sure we are just ignoring. Remember that 4 damage I missed? Pretty sure we're just ignoring the Fable and stuff. I'll kill an Omnath, but we're just gonna try to seismic them. They have 2 answers to this, you know. Can always top deck a lightning bolt. When you want to discard your lands to assault and deal 4 damage and loam back 3 rather than loaming 1. Yeah, I did loam back 3 this turn. Yes, if you hear me saying the 4 damage we missed, we missed the 4 damage. The problem was my opponent played the 1 ring and I didn't realize I needed to discard the 2 in order to like loam back. That was the missed 4 damage. Okay, opponent is spending 4 mana and they're damaged up here. We're gonna play 2 bindings. Okay. 1 anyways. It's really nice. Got a very green sideboard today. So they're playing halfling, so the bolts don't have like no targets. They should have counter magic post board, but not a ton of it. I may do something like in 3 Veil of Summers, turn 1 explore, 1 bolt, 1 through the breach, something like this. 3 bolts is maybe. But also like the burn plan is pretty real. They had a companion. Did they have Karuga? I thought that they. I don't remember Karuga being revealed. Sorry. We'll see, I guess. I don't see a companion revealed in the game log, but I can't remember if it is in the game log. Oh yeah, they did reveal Karuga. Okay, so I guess that was a move sideboard a little differently. Opponent's on a mold of 6. I'm gonna keep this 7. They had Teferi, no way Karuga. You played Teferi and Karuga in the same deck a bunch, right? Only the Karuga list runs Grixis over Sultai. Interesting. Boy, do I wish those triumphs had Grixis and Sultai instead of Zatoras and Zoggoth. So why are they shocking in the Sacred Foundry? They don't have Fire Ice up. I guess just for fire. That would be fine. Thank you, Surveillance. Very cool. Seems like I should probably just Wrenn and Six this turn. The Explore doesn't necessarily help me. I guess I also should have targeted the Scalding Tarn. This was a mistake too. Because now I can't cast the Fable unless my Wrenn survives. Also, what just happened? My opponent tapped 2 mana and then untapped. I'm just kind of really valuing like getting to play all these Dwarven Mines this game. So now they have. I guess they just thought that they had binding mana available. Okay. Kind of okay though. We need to go creativity X equals 2 maybe next turn. Yeah, I think they thought they had binding available. They only have 4 cards in their hand. They've tapped a Hallowed Fountain and then played a basic Plains, which is a bit odd. Huh. Elaborate bait. I'm gonna creativity X equals 2 here. They have reprieve. The creativity just goes back to my hand. Okay. Nice. Best match. Turn 3 creativity. I'm gonna put back Mine. On the draw. I feel somewhat confident we can find another land with, especially with like explore and multiple surveils. T done 29. Yeah, up against Goryo's. Tried to make a Soren's vampire, and they graveyarded Goryo's. So they probably already have one. I've tried to. Soren Vein Ripper is not good in modern. I think we'll see. Maybe that changes, but they're just like it's. I don't know. I'm just not that excited about it. It's not well positioned. Do you rate Route 75 highly, like mid tier enough to bring to events? Yeah, I've played it at like a tournament. Didn't do like super well, but like I felt like I would play it again potentially. I think we just get the Blood Crypt here. How do you think Infiltron is positioned as compared to more traditional builds? I don't know. Didn't have a super good day with it the other day. I think the deck is like high variance because like Goryo's like just when you're drawing hot you can't lose. Hard to say. I'm gonna jam a creativity here against Goryo's. They don't have that much interaction. Could be a bit of a problem if we are just letting our opponent like get the discard outlet, but that's okay. We also have 4 Turn to Earth in the sideboard because this matchup is pretty bad, and pretty sure that's the best card you can play against them. My opponent Tainted Indulgence is response. Also, a lot of Goryo's lists are like playing less than 4 Solitudes of the main at the moment. There's like more reason to just jam, I think. I also have 2. I just have 2 creativities, and this build is certainly just more of like we're jamming. 1-0 Solitude main, yeah. So a lot of people are like doing this. It kind of I don't really understand, but you do you. You know, do what works for you. They discard another Goryo's. I guess they're just Goryo flooded. Kind of rare. Discard an Atraxa, so they should be able to return this Atraxa, but they won't be able to ephemerate it. So they should do it probably on my turn, right? I really like to main deck 4 Solitude and Traxa. It may be just like I played the deck so long and Solitude has been better positioned in the past. But it is fun. People really like to talk Solitude about how poorly designed it is and how Modern Horizons 2 cards or whatever. But boy, does like Solitude just not see almost any play. I feel like Solitude is like the perfect Modern Horizons 2 card. Like just like surprisingly very balanced. Okay, so a little late on this Through the Breach, I guess. So I guess I should just creativity X equals 2 here, right? Endurance is perfect, but yeah, I think endurance too. I think endurance, subtlety, solitude. Good designs. They have my thumbs up. Grief Fury, thumbs down. that you ban every card with a thumbs down. But okay, so cutting the lightning bolts. Do I want 4 Turn the Earth, 4 Veil of Summer? Veil of Summer is kind of rules against them. 4 is a lot. It's worse on the draw. What's wrong with Geef? I think the card is very unfun and leads to like really poor play patterns and is also like really obnoxious in combo decks like Goryo's and Living End. He's like awesome plan B, like full of disruption. I guess that's just bait. What's wrong with Goryo's? Maybe I cut the Seismic Assaults. Yes, the Seismic Assault plan seems kind of poor in this matchup. Feels fine to just be in on this. Ragavan? I think Ragavan's fine. I don't have super strong feelings about the card at the moment. Any chance you'd visit your Restore Balance deck again soon? I have been kind of working on it. So I guess there's a chance. Yeah, there's always a chance, right? But what's wrong with Grief? What's wrong with Grief? Shut up. You know what's wrong with Grief. Oh, what is wrong with Grief? If Grief was discard a card rather than Thoughtseize to be balanced, it'd be like unplayable. Okay. Probably correct to keep this on top. I get another Surveil land. Could have been Duress instead of Thoughtseize. Yeah, maybe Duress. Maybe restricted. Maybe 2-1. Something along these lines. Loam was actually a really fun draw here. Just don't have too many good targets for them. They should probably discard by Archon. Your Fury be okay if it was 3 damage. I mean, so like the big problem with Fury is like just like it almost just doesn't matter how much power toughness you have in play, or like just like scamming it just like wipes your board, and like it still wipes your board, on 6 damage instead of 8 most of the time. I mean, I guess it matters more at that point, but that's the problem. Is just like scamming the Grief just wipes your board so hard. I feel like that was the problem is like if you're put Goryo's in their hand here. If you're when you're playing the matchup, right, you are just like you just have a very hard time like building a board state and coming back from ahead. It's very hard to fight like the Grief part and the Fury part. But now that they banned Fury, like if you just get ahead on board against Rakdos, they have a very hard time winning. So I feel like it's just pretty reasonable at the moment. Maybe I should have been down like a Loam here if I'm going to be cutting all the assaults also. Maybe played 1 assault still. Keeps the card on top. Yeah, it could have been a 4-1, 3-1. We're just like a little too pushed. Grief is also like, these cards have been around for a long time. They're not just like so egregious and have to go, and if they don't go, the format. They're not like Hogak level threats. So I guess I can get 2 mines to block the Grief. Yeah, not dying to Bolt after being scammed is pretty tough. But just like the old Rakdos scam formula, like it would just attack your hand so well. It would also just like scamming Fury just like is a way for them to catch up from all like so many board states, and then it was just too many angles of attack. I think. Look who's playing Turn Earth now. Well, now that Goryo's is like tier 1 deck in Modern, you know what I mean? It's like. Now I think you want to be now that it's like one of the most maybe the most popular deck in the format. I'm on board with Turn the Earth. People play this like when like the graveyard decks are like Living in Murktide, Breach combo. But I'm pretty on board with playing it at the moment. Yeah, and it's pretty resilient to Grief, I guess. Snuff Out would be a cool out for Modern. It'd be pretty dang pushed, but maybe. It would be cool. Undeniably cool. Creativity off the top. not quite that lucky. Gore's most popular deck on Moto. Yeah, maybe. I think it is. At least it has. It certainly has seemed that way for a little while now. Grief is probably fine. Legacy, but Reanimate should probably go. Can't comment on Legacy, I guess. Yeah, they thought a lot about ephemerating Grief. I don't think they thought much about like Undying affecting Grief, but they mentioned ephemerating Grief when they during the spoiler stream. Okay, let's double block. Let's keep the Wrenn and Six alive, I guess. I want to be able to like get up to 8 mana without without dredging, so that I can hardcast an Archon that I top deck. Not time to turn the earth for life gain quite yet either. So it was 3 mana value extraction during design. Gross. Okay, now I'll probably turn the earth into turn here. They get a Thoughtseize and a Gorya's Vengeance. They know I have both of these. They still choose Goryo's. Okay, let's target Atraxa, and then I'm just gonna put a fetch land back in their deck. Oh, I'll get 3, so 2 fetches. So not gonna dredge. Can't really do a double block again. Since I need to be able to cast a creativity if I draw it. Not Grief. What is this Grief doing in the graveyard that would make you want to target with Turn to Earth? Maybe Explore was better than average top deck. Remember Grief not being super popular for at least a year. Luris was the reason it wasn't. Man, those Rakdos Luris decks or something. Guess you could hardcast Atraxa soon. Keep a card on top. Yeah, I don't have any Sheltered Thickets in this list. I don't really think you're supposed to have any Sheltered Thickets. Okay, I guess we're casting this. Guess these Thoughtseizes are probably better to shuffle in. Okay, we are in hardcast Archon territory. Get for a last Surveil land out of the deck. Thank you, Surveil land. Just drawing a card here. Fable's a sick rip. Should I double block a Grief here? Seems fine. I'll still be able to cast Creativity or hardcast Archon if I draw one. Can we still hardcast Archon anymore? Yeah, I have a Blood Crypt in my deck. I can still fetch Shock, cast the Archon, even without gaining the life from Turn the Earth here. Okay, discard Wrenn, discard Stomping Ground. I milled it. Sorry. Should look at chat more often, I guess. Well, that's bad. So I guess I'm dredging Loam. Try telling, yeah, sorry. I didn't understand what y'all are saying, I guess. Need that Wrenn and Six. I have Loams, though. I can just dredge Loam next turn. Staying alive via turn the Earths. Oh, I could have turned the Earth to, like, shuffle it back in, right. Yeah, I just missed that it was there. Sorry. Probably playing 2 theaters. Maybe. I guess maybe I could have drawn Creativity, but even then. Game 3 on the play. Let me go down 2 Loams plus 2 Seismic Assaults. Click submit. Yeah, I know there's no audio at Wednesday's VOD. It can't be recovered. Sorry. There's a glitch. Well, burn 3 years. Let's go. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. On the play. All right, let's keep. We're gonna hold up the Veil on turn 1. Oh, 12 temples. We went 3-2, and I like the list. That's how I built the list at the moment. We didn't play against any Scion Leyline decks, so maybe Scion Leyline decks are. We haven't played. We're 7 matches in, haven't played 1. Could be on the decline, despite people freaking out a little bit. Good pickup. You okay? Esther's sprinting down the hall. Should Cage see more playing? Yeah, probably. It's good against Goryo's and Yogg. Any big changes to press the Infiltron? No, I just thought it was likely better positioned. No big changes. Okay, so I'm not going to tap out here. Just going to wait a turn on the Fable. Can't afford to get Goryo's. Why not play Surgical Extraction and Return the Earth? Goryo's is a deck that plays Grief, and Turn the Earth having Flashback is just really backbreaking for them. They're like a Grief Thoughtseize deck, and the fact that if they discard this, it's still Graveyard Hate. The fact that you can loot it away, it's still Graveyard Hate. You can Surveil over it, it's still Graveyard Hate. Makes it very tough for them to defeat. Maybe I'm waiting still another turn. Yeah, there's just like not a lot they can do if we chill. They only have, they mulligan. They only have 4 cards. They mulled to 5. Will sideboards ever become 20 cards? Magic players are so fucking bored, dude. Magic players are so bored. Spike, will sideboards ever become 20 cards? What are we talking about? They're so bored. So, I don't think I'm going to turn the Earth right now. It's kind of bad, I guess, if they have Goryo's, like 2 Goryo's, they can respond to turn the Earth. I have a Force of Negation, so thankfully I have the Veil for that, if they're going to try to force my turn. Got 2 turns now. Okay, backup Fable, I guess. Waiting for me to see what the meta says. Stay sale. I don't know. I know this is a lot of people's opinion. I don't know. This week I trophied with Enchantress. I trophied with Mono Black with 4 Liliana the Veils in my main deck. We're playing Seismic Assault Creativity. We do a 4-1 with Heliod. I feel like this week has been like the best week, like gameplay and like brew wise I've had in months. And I don't know. I think Modern is like pretty sick at the moment. But you can dislike it. That's fine. It's always allowed. Yeah, store metas can definitely get a little wonky. They discard an ephemerate, which kind of surprises me. So they have Force Negation, 2 mystery cards still. We'll probably loot away and turn the Earth or 2 if they don't purge my second Fable. I think people just start willing to try to brew. I kind of know this to be true, and this is why I'm able to find, I think, success as a Magic streamer. Is that I do nothing but brew in Modern, and like my whole career, I've been doing this for like 5 years, and my whole career has been people saying shit sucks, that shit is bad at the moment, and I just like just constantly have something to do like every single day. You know what I mean? Well, I just always having fun doing stuff while people are complaining in the chat. That's just what this stream is. For all Modern players every day. So we're on 6. If we can surveil into an untapped land, this hand is fine. Let's go to 5. Okay, this hand's better. Just turn 3 creativity on the play. Yeah, I just love Farseek too. Farseek rules with just says surveil 1 on it. Don't mold a sick. First thing on this deck, I'm sure I'll punt hard. Please don't grief scam me. Please don't. First league, big fan. Grief scam. Okay, thankfully not. So I guess this is the creativity mirror. Tough to mulligan on the play. It's a 5. Get pierced super hard. They may tap out for a 3-drop. They may not realize I'm on creativity as well. They get Murktide. Murktide doesn't play Bloodstone Mire. Is creativity in prime time just worse than Archon? Yeah, I think so. Also, the edict effects are really good at the moment. It does. Updated Spike Demir Murktide. I don't know. I know, like, remember, like, I played Demir Murktide for, like, the first time. Like, I put, like, kind of, like, one of the initial lists together. And, like, we had, like, a really mediocre stream with it. But people just love that deck. I just don't think that deck is good, right? They're probably pretty favored in the mirror because they have counter magic. Although we have speed. They're stumbling a little bit here. I'm gonna go creativity X2 next turn, which allows me to play around 1 removal spell and spell pierce, which against an opponent who just did nothing last turn probably is okay to just wait. Lightning bolt me, don't do that. Although maybe it looks like I'm on Titan still. I'm very happy to just make them spew a bolt. Maybe they just have 2 more removal spells or whatever. Okay, I guess now I can go creativity X3 and 2 removal spells seem somewhat likely. They still didn't do anything last turn. I'm even like beating creativity X1 next turn. Okay, yeah, well, still worked out, I think. We considered playing decks with RC format instead of modern timeless only. I've considered playing whatever I want whenever I want. It seems to be the way to do it. Just play what I'm interested in, and people will show up or they won't. But if I'm not enjoying what I'm playing, if I'm not interested in what I'm playing, and just content machining the RC format, it's not as interesting. I think we've waited the sufficient amount of time. Brutal. Change the equation. What the hell? I guess, yeah. Got me. Now they top out for a Fable. Creativity off the top. Archon, I'll take Archon. They did leave a binding mana. Maybe we should have surveilled surveilled before exploring. Discards an Archon and an Elegant Parlor. So they can only creativity for one. Target their treasure. Down a dwarf. They find a land. They do find a land, but they don't have a bolt to hold up. Okay, I'm gonna go surveilling. Creativity to the top. I think I don't crack this fetch. I need to be able to like hardcast Archon if I draw that, or just like creativity X equals 2. Okay, let's go to game 2. Tough stuff. They're probably not super favored in the mirror. The extra speed will be interesting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's okay. I think is it just four veils or 4 bolts. Bolt is kind of nice against Fable token and their dwarf tokens, but also the threat of bolt against the Fable tokens matters. And we also just have Seismic Assault for that kind of element. We also have, I think Through the Breach probably is really nice because like one problem with this matchup is not wanting to be the first person to put Archon into play because you get yours edicted. But if you just like end of turn breach or just main phase breach, like you kind of don't run that risk as much. This deck has the Copium sideboard. What does that mean? Are you saying we're playing 4 Turn the Earth in the sideboard for to pretend like pick your poison for Fable Archon if they have Iron or whatever? I'm not sure if that's the game I want to fight. I feel like I just want to try to protect my creativities. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this on the play. Like if they own on like red, maybe I can just hardcast Archon. Do an Emrakul? No, you can get your Emrakul Archon. Emrakul is mostly just for mill, I think. There's maybe there's other matchups to bring it in, but I think certainly not the Edict Edict deck. Seismic Assault would be okay if I had one more land. Let's just go and graveyard it for now. We also have like just double 2 mana 3-drop here, or we have double 3 mana enchantment. Sideboard Persist Plan. Persist Plan is not good in the sideboard where like people are gonna have potentially more graveyard hate against you post board. I think you either want to game 1 or you don't want it at all. No more Bergmas, just Archons. Fancy thought though. What are some people only play 3 Archon? Well, they're wrong for playing 3 Archon. Don't worry about it too much. Just play 4. Any plans to going back to blue-white Surveil Counterbalance? I mean, I like that deck. I would maybe play it again, yeah. So they're playing a Fun Raveler. Maybe I have to be the... I probably should just put an Archon into play this turn. We'll see what happens. Kind of having a hard time imagining a world where it's not just right to slam. Okay, I'm going to discard Mountain Explorer. Maybe too many Archons. we could draw into like a Through the Breach. Or exactly Through the Breach. Is this the Seismic Assault creature list running around? It's different, but it's inspired by like Jarvis's list and stuff. Being able to play Farseek, I think, is a nice addition. Opponent keeps to Fairy, which kind of implies them wanting to go instant speed creativity on one. Which doesn't actually help them very much, because they need to do it before this Fable flips. Yeah, Farseek's just like a sick card in this deck. Combat Stick is almost really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it another league off stream with Enhanced Surveillance. Just see, like, did we just run really bad with it, or was it really just not good? Only thing I didn't figure out was not playing Forgotten Cave. Yeah, Forgotten Cave is just not where you want to be, I think. So it seems like they have creativity. Let's get the show on the road, opponent. You're going to creativity before the Fable flips, so you can do it now. You can do it on my turn. It's okay. Oh, they're not casting it. Okay, that's fine. Oh wait, they're untapping. It's okay. It's their first league. That's fine. Okay. I draw the 4th Archon. Oh. I attack. I gotta combat. I get my trigger. Opponent, if you didn't have creativity, that's fine. You could have taken all the time you want here. Kept to Fairy to play on Endurance. Well, there's no endurance in like this deck ever, really, right? So Veil, but then they take 4. Could have played on Spell Pierce, maybe. I was planning on just surveilling, ended up working out. Didn't necessarily get a Spell Piercy vibe. And my creativities are not super live at the moment. Just see what happens. Okay, also commune with the gods. I don't think I'm a commune believer. If you were gonna play commune, you definitely play persist. Card is like, at least like, you know, we're talking about it. It's kind of interesting. Okay, game 3 on the draw. Kind of want to play like 2 bolts over the breaches on the draw, through the breach on the draw. I feel like I'm just like in pretty bad shape if I don't have a bolt for a Fable token on the draw sometimes. Keep this one. Consider Boil on the board. I hadn't thought about Boil. You could play Boil. I like that you can cast a turn 3. Puts on a multi-6 on the play. Yeah, I think Commune with the Gods because it like works a bit better with the Loam plan. Yeah, sometimes Mush. Sometimes I think about doing merch. Maybe one day. Not a huge priority for me, I guess. Was playing 4 Bitter Union to increase the hits and try to smooth out 2 into 3. I don't know. Bitter Union to me, I just think is the most overrated card in these decks usually. You have some very flashy turns with it. It's okay. It is playable, but people just go so wild for it. Okay. Firmly on the Assault Loam plan. So we can go Assault into Fable plus Loam on turn 3. So play Mystic Foster expansion, Composer, Jade Avenger. Well, I don't have the licensing for those. Maybe I should play Fable instead, because like my opponent just has some interaction here. Yeah, I think Fable is the bait spell. It's nice that we have creativity, so like we just get to punish my opponent if they slam a creativity. Getting reprieved, huh? Interesting how dominantly Fable won the Spyro versus Fable battle. Well, I mean, it's just like Bowmasters got printed, and then like Spyro is really bad against Bowmasters, and Fable's like not bad against Bowmasters. But I think before then, most people thought Spyro was like a little better, kind of deck dependent. Like it was better in Scam because it was like better with your like Scam effects. So surveilling main phase. Yeah, it's been a really good week for brews. Best in a while for sure. Okay, let's get a dwarf. The Bowmaster's low, forces high. Maybe a Sparrow could be okay. Maybe. Hopefully. I do certainly miss Seasoned Pyromancer. So I could play around Spell Pierce by casting Loam first, and I could play around. Weird. And I could play around Leyline Binding on my Seismic Assault by casting Loam first. So Assault first for Spell Pierce, Loam first for Binding. I think I'm gonna play around Binding. Because if my opponent has Spell Pierce, it's like not the worst case in the world for me to get out of their hand when I have this creativity in my hand, potentially. Although maybe I could just play a Fable again. Let's do that. Let's just play the Fable. They have Reprieve. They have Reprieve. Okay, they have the Spell Pierce. But yeah, next turn, do I just have Lethal with the Seismic Assault? I have 8 plus 6, 14. Yeah, I just have Lethal. Also, if they just tap out for creativity, we get them pretty hard, maybe. It's not that hard because you only get to creativity on 1 return. Winota, Death and Taxes, Spyro. I've played Winota with Spyro a bunch. It kind of have to play 4 Spyros in your Winota decks in Modern, probably. Is creativity the fun, please? He's fine. Plays a Fable. Okay, so now that I have plenty of, like, juice for the Seismic Assault, I'm just going to play it now. So I can replay it if they have Reprieve. I can play it for Spell Pierce. And then just board control if they remove it or Spell Pierce my Loam. I guess, should I... So right now I have 8 damage. I can discard... Yeah, I can kill the Shaman. And then if my Loam resolves, I still just have Lethal. But I can kind of hedge my bets by killing the Shaman first. And if they binding this in response, which they do, we can just go. We can kill the Wrenn and Six, and we can kill the Dwarf token, and just kind of be a bit more head on board. And then almost certainly slamming a creativity next turn. So they get their Fable loot. Discard a Brother's Hood End. Kind of a weird card to have in. They only discard Brother's Hood End, or do they discard Blood Crypt too? They also discarded Blood Crypt. They play another Fable. So I think I'm going to go creativity X equals 2, right? So I can pay for a Spell Pierce. So I might as well surveil. Okay, I'll take relevant spell here. So if they have 2 removal spells or they have changed the equation to Reprieve, they get us. Also, of course, you know, they can maybe just creativity me. Binding? Reprieve? Reprieve. Okay, I'm going to bolt the Fable token. Just tax their mana this turn. Not feeling great. My opponent says in the chat, I'm in danger. I feel like I'm really behind, but we'll let them feel like they're in danger, I guess. Discards Mountain Brotherhood End. Plays a Dwarven Mine. Or Arid Mesa, sorry. Rain Phase cracks the Arid Mesa for a Dwarven Mine. I'm in danger. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Okay. It's okay. That's fine. Next match. I'll keep this on the play for sure. Turn 4 creativity, hopefully, if I find a Dwarven Mine into Through the Breach. Yeah, in danger of winning. Just a bit of banter. Wait until lethal number of lands to play Assault. You weren't listening to me. I was playing around Reprieve. I was playing around Spell Pierce, Andrew. I chose to not play around Binding because if they had Binding, I could still kill their board. But if they had Reprieve or Spell Pierce, Loaming first into Assault felt like a big punt. Also didn't feel like I could just do nothing. And like just cast Loam that turn. But I at the time I feel very good about the lines we took that game, to be honest. Okay, giving that. Probably just slamming next turn. We'll see what develops. Maybe it'll be good to go like end of turn breach. Not playing on Spell Pierce because I would love for them to Spell Pierce this. Yeah, just can't really jam there. The grindy matchups or the bad matchups. Can't remember the meme. So I only have one Archon left in my deck already. Could Through the Breach right now. I think it's probably need that attack trigger, right? Splice is basically never used. You would have to have 9 mana and 2 breaches. Just like mostly flavor text. Effortlessly spell pierced. Channeler in the yard. Gonna slam creativity X2. Joe Lando can hardcast some Archons too. For spell pierce. Beat a removal spell. Probably have a counter spell though. 1 lightning bolt. So either they have another removal spell or we get to put our last Archon into play. Alright. Nice. I guess on F6, huh? YX2. So if they have a removal spell, we get to put an Archon into play. This is why. So they top decked Unholy Heat, or I guess surveilled Unholy Heat to the top. That's okay. They graveyard a Subtlety. Little did they know that Subtlety was like the best possible for them. Primordial Time over Archon. I'm not a big fan of that strategy. I don't think I would say I seriously considered it, I guess. Hardcast to the counter. I'm 1 mana short this turn because my commercial district enters tapped. I would, with 2 in hand though against 1 card, if I could hardcast it, I would. If they have the counter, I'll just cast it again next turn. You definitely do hardcast Archon a lot more in this build, I think, than other builds, just because you have 8 ramp spells plus Fables. Do you know the last card? Do not know the last card, no. Veils in. I almost want to cut the Fables. Probably shouldn't. Can trim a Loam. Can trim these can just get really clunky, and like sometimes you can't attack very well with them. Pick your poison, surely. I don't know. I just like it feels like we don't care that much about like the card Murktide Regent. Is that like really where we want to be? Maybe some number. Certainly not 4. Let me get the Veils in before we do that. Seismic Assaults also seem really good too. I'm gonna try 1 Explore, 1 Fable, 1 Farseek, I think, for the Veils. I just don't know. I just don't know that I care about the card Murktide Regent very much. I know you pick the poison can also kill Channeler. Was one of my favorite cards. I mean, I like Loam. It's not like one of my top cards, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. They also like are not definitely on Ledger Shredder. If I saw Ledger Shredder, I'd be more likely to have Pick Your Poison. It would be like certainly a reasonable card to bring in. But I don't know what I'd be cutting. I wouldn't play more than 2 if I brought him in. Monkey's good. Don't have Wrenn and Six. Don't have Bolt. Don't have Seismic Assault. Okay, I guess I have one of these now. Up to Graveyard since don't want to give it to him off the Ragavan. Do you ever trim Archon? I wouldn't recommend trimming Archon. It's like pretty castable in the stack, playing through the breach. You want a Farseek? I know you want a Farseek. Okay, replacement for 2 Seed of Hope and Ruthless. I'll just install comments. I'm not sure. I decide not to cast it. Yeah, we have to bin the Wrenn and Six, otherwise the Ragavan is gonna cook us. I'll probably surveil before the Ragavan hits me, so they can't like steal anything super relevant. So sometimes you just want to do it afterwards if you don't care as much, but yeah, my eye's doing a lot better. I've been like I don't think they'll cast this. I've been walking a lot lately, just being outside, looking at distant objects, been eating carrots. So I'm like the last today, yesterday, and the day before, I've been all getting progressively better, thankfully, and also doing slightly shorter streams has been helpful. So I appreciate your patience there. Jim Davis just bailed out on Timeless Jeskai Surveil. What does that mean? Like stop playing it? Said he was too dumb. It's a kind of tricky deck, I guess. But Jim is not too dumb. Jim is too modest. Alright, so I guess we're baiting the counter on the Fable, since we have a Loam to go with our Seismic Assault. And it just resolved. Why aren't you casting the Explore, brother? Yeah, I guess I just need to put my PC 20 feet away. That actually might... Would that like... That might actually help my eyes if I like just sit on the other side of the room from my monitor. I could still see. I'll think about it. They have subtlety. I'd be kind of surprised if they had subtlety in post board, but I guess it's Wrenn and Six. Need to buy a big TV. Yeah. If my eyes get worse and like I just need to try anything, then like yeah, sure, I'm down. Ooh, it's kind of a cool draw. I think I'll just loot away just the Scalding Tarn. I want the Loam to be in my hand here. I mean, they did die to hardcast Archon, but still, like, just doesn't feel like how you're probably supposed to approach the matchup. What do I know? I'm a Liliana of the Veil player. Because you got 2 cards in your hand over there. Eating carrots is made up. I've heard that too. I don't know. Listen, don't tell me it's made up though, because I feel better. I'm gonna keep eating carrots. I'm gonna and hopefully my eyes continue to feel better. If it's made up, I don't want to know that it's made up. Maybe I get placebo affected. The placebo effect is super real for medicine. So they find an unholy heat off this iteration. Gonna get hit by Ragavan for the 4th time in a row. It's okay. They find a lightning bolt. Will they bolt me here? It was World War propaganda. Okay, well let's let the propaganda work. You got people to eat more vegetables. Let's let the propaganda do its thing. Yeah, that is true. It still works even if you know it's a placebo. The human brain is so weird. So they're playing a Murktide. It didn't seem like they had a counterspell a couple turns ago. Could get lucky and draw Veil of Summer. I guess I threw the Breach to play around my opponent having 2 removal spells. How does he do it, huh? Pre-recorded stream. It's tough to script this stuff. It's very hard. Put a lot of work in. Playing leagues off stream and then... Ooh, I could dredge Loam off for Veil. It's not. Definitely feeling the 2 copies of Through the Breach in this list. Okay, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. And then we'll put them on a triple surveil land. It's just being able to like make like the chance of like surveilling Archon's Yard is kind of nice, and then we can also try to surveil for a Fable to loot this away, which feels like what we want to be doing in the matchup. Surveil Loam into the yard, which I will dredge just to have a higher chance of milling. When you start with Emrakul, mostly for mill. There's probably like occasionally some spots it's okay to bring it in, where it's like better than Archon, but I like maybe you're supposed to have one in against like Murktide over one of the Archons. Oh yeah, just go to cleanup. Duh. Still dredge Loam. Although I don't know if we're doing that turn 1 before my opponent even like before me, it could just be playing something else, right? I remember I used to do this against Living In with Soul Sisters. I would just discard like Soul Sister, discard Johnny's Pride Mate, and you just couldn't lose. Different times. So I think the first Archon is kind of beatable, depending on how big they can get their yard. The second one should probably get the job done. You have to find one eventually. Yeah, I think they're probably in that range where this will be enough. We'll see. It can also like I also get to make like chump blockers and stuff, so not necessarily the clearest. Still just kind of looking to get lucky and surveil an Archon into the yard. Or find a living in or creativity to put on top. Oh, Seismic Assault I'll keep. That's like 12 damage. Another thing too is I guess Minune is playing that 4-mana instant that can cast Living End. But if it's just Charlotte's Agent, then yeah, us getting to attack with the Archon is such a big game changer. Maybe double block the Archon. Runs at 14. But I really don't have lethal if I attack with the Seismic Assault. That's kind of tough. Yeah, basically, yeah, effectively 17. Draw land for turns, 2 more damage. I did. There's also a possibility of Force of Negation. So 7 times 2, 14. Oh. So I can't play around Force of Negation, but I can play around Boseiju by loaming first. Okay, so now I just go to combat. Yeah, they have a food. I'm counting with the food here. Basically, the Archon cancels out the food. I just have 14, so they gain 3. This also deals them 3. Good deck to flood with, you know. Fun game. And if they had Boseiju, then they're not sacking the food. We won game 1 against our old rival, Mindinone. So I want something to come in. I think I want 4 Veil. I think I want 4 Turn the Earth, and I want some number of Pick Your Poison for Leyline of the Void, but maybe I just shouldn't. Maybe I just shouldn't play that card. I think Breach is pretty bad. Breaches. Yeah, let's not. I don't even know that Mindinone will bring in Leyline of the Void, and if he does, then we'll just be like on a Turn to Earth / creativity game plan, I guess. Maybe I could play like Boseiju. Yeah, it's okay. Or people suddenly using Turn to Earth as the main graveyard spell would happen to Endurance and the likes. Well, in this deck, you can't play Endurance because you'll creativity into it. And you can't play Artifact based Graveyard Hate because you'll creativity into it. So your 2 options are Leyline of the Void or Turn the Earth, really. And Turn to Earth, I think, is the better option. How's Wrenn and Six this matchup? I mean, I'm just going to keep it in the deck, probably. It's not particularly good. Maybe we should be cutting Wrenns over like the 2 mana ramp spells, I guess. Probably discard Archon again. New nays on a mold of 5. Did bring in the ley lines. But now only has 3 cards in hand. I guess it also shuts off my Loam stuff, huh? 2 Street Wraiths? Sheesh. Mold of 5. Leyline in play, already 3. 4 creatures in yard and 2 lands with 3 cards left. If I Turn the Earth, it's like not even good enough. Yeah, maybe it's good enough. Four cards in hand. Cycle's Waker of Waves. Turn the Earth. Play a Fable. Okay, so can an Archon of Cruelty stabilize me here? Be very funny if he also has a Force of Negation up. Discard. Loam Archon, I guess, probably. So they sack here. I'll go to 21. Entropy Engine, the 26. Thank you. Welcome back. So I can block Generous End and then take 10, 13 plus 7. Yeah, not dead. Dead to press the enemy. Let's go, dude. G3. The play for game 3. I think I'm on board for cutting the Wrenn and Sixes. Play 2, pick your poison, and getting Farseek number 4 back in the deck. Maybe we could trim in a Seismic Assault if they're going to be kind of going in on the ley lines. Octopus with the 21 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I think we just want like 2. Living is back. Yeah, press the enemy seems like the tech. Kind of, I didn't see it at all like until we saw Minune's list just now. Good job, Minune. If anyone was going to figure it out, it was probably him. Might have no enemies read. I'm always happy to see Minune. Mush, the 14 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I remember consulting on Lord of the Rings saying press the enemy might have been like a sideboard card for Cascade decks, but now it's maybe just the real deal. Close. Let's try it. Pretty bad against the ley line. No ley line. So don't need this pick your poison. I was kind of hoping I would graveyard a land there so I could like maybe loam and get back or be able to go to discard. Here, yeah, I'm gonna cast the loam and with the intention of dredging it and going to discard next turn. So if this gets forced, it's a little awkward, I guess. Force pitch Charlotte's Agent. So usually I would Farseek before playing Commercial District from hand, but maybe with 4 Turn to Earth in my deck, I should be playing Commercial District first. I guess I'll just keep that in the deck and then cast a Farseek, hope to, they pitched a Living End or he pitched a Living End. Let's see if there's another one over there. Keep. Or pitch a Charlotte's Agent. Positivity with the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Wow. Okay. Good shit. Okay. So cracked. Thank you. Positivity with 20 months. Okay. 2 3/2s on the day. We'll take it. Should I just have not cast the Loam to play around Force? Maybe. Kind of tough to play around that spot. Only 4 Cascaders in the deck too. Had 2 of them. Let's play another League of the Mono Black Liliana deck though.